evening, my friends. It is Tuesday night. We are Draft 4 Upside, and we are getting you ready for the Workday Charity Open at beautiful Ohio. Did I just say beautiful and Ohio in the same sentence? Muirfield Village Golf Club. And joining me today is my good buddy, Brewery Mark. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. Not so good in golf DFS, but man, I'm on a hot streak in poker.
Oh, I like that. That's great, man. I am slowly rebounding from my devastating Friday disaster. So, that's good. And also with us today, finally, after a 2-week absence, the man, the legend, Adam White.
So, Danger, I love hearing about your devastation. What was that Friday devastation story?
It's not good. It's not a good idea to talk about
Just
it.
say
I
it.
don't want to bring
Go.
it up. I entered like $250 worth of tournaments within like a 30-minute span and tried to play like 5 windows of poker on a small laptop at the same time.
Oh, okay.
I had a little buzz on. I was bullshit talking with Mark. I was losing $100 at a hand at Pot Limit Omaha. I mean, it was just not pretty.
Man. I thought you were going to say you had a terrible DFS golf lineup and just rage entered a bunch of Friday only events on draft.
No. We're talking poker, man. I was up $270 the day before, and I went down to negative 300 something. I had like a $500 swing in like a 2-hour period. It was not good. Right. It wasn't good. It's bad. It's a bad thing.
About your poker. I love hearing about your misery, but let's talk about that.
I'm coming back around though. It's fine. I'm coming back around. It's all good.
You know how it goes.
Adam, you're driving at the moment, so I'm going to hope that you are not imbibing on a delicious beverage. But Mark, do you have anything tasty?
I do. So I have a Avery Brewing Company Anniversary Ale.
Is it 23% alcohol? Because everything Avery makes is 20% alcohol.
Actually, it's only 7.9.
Nice.
It's from 2016. It's called 23. It is a Brettanomyces fermented dark farmhouse ale.
Very interesting. Funky, stanky.
Yeah, it's okay. The funk didn't really come out. I don't.
Well, that's disappointing.
Usually stuff ages well like this, but it just kind of tastes like a strong brown ale.
That's true. Hey, Adam, you're going to have to mute for a minute. I apologize, man.
Yeah, no worries.
Your road noise is just too much. We'll get back to you. We'll get back to you in a second. No, that's disappointing, man. I really like Avery's stuff. I said, is it 20% because I saw the picture you shared with us on our group chat earlier, and it was called 23. And they have all those Mephistopheles and all those demon and angel named beers. They're all 18, 20% alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Those things are amazing. So good. And they have that pumpkin barrel beer that's 18% bourbon barrel aged pumpkin ale. It tastes like pumpkin schnapps added to a imperial stout.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's really good. Tasty. I am back on the Weight Watchers, my friends. Officially signed back up for a 6-month stint on Friday. The wife and I decided to go full bore again and try to get down to a new low, so that's good. But it means I'm back on the seltzer kick, buddy. So drinking the Bumble from Witch's Hat, the all-natural Michigan honey and blueberries seltzer. So I guess that's technically a low ABV session melomel, I guess you would call that, right? A fruited mead.
Right.
I don't know. It's delicious. I love it. It makes me happy. So that's all I have to say.
I need to get me some.
That's right. And if you're listening to us for the first time, we're talking beer because we are beer industry people. Draft for Upside is DRAUGHT as in draft beer. The number 4 Upside. You can find us at draft4upside.com because there's 4 of us, even though Chris is probably not going to be here tonight. And we hope our picks give you a little bit of upside to win over the field. And like I said, you can find us draftforupside.com. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter. Someday you'll find us on YouTube. And we are also distributed through the Sports Crew. Good old buddy Lou Landers pushes our stuff out there. You can find us pretty much anywhere that you can download a podcast. Is that right, Mark?
Yep, we're on YouTube.
Yeah, someday we'll put video to all this when we get fancy.
Yeah. It's just the audio, but we're there.
Now?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Adam, after
beautiful faces on there.
Yeah, after you and I did the pre-COVID, the last event before COVID, there was so much demand for our beautiful faces to be back on screen.
I mean, how could there not be, really?
There really can't. There's really no excuse. There's no excuse. All right. Well, we are at beautiful Muirfield Village Golf Club. I'm going to say it like 80 times till I get it right, right? They're in Ohio. They're going to play this course 2 weeks in a row, I believe. I don't really know why. I understand the John Deere Classic is taking 1 year off, and this is what they decided to do. But they're going to play it 2 weeks in a row. I guess it's going to play a little softer this week, a little harder next week. This is definitely a smaller field, is it not, than it has been, Mark? Or is this the bigger field and next week's the smaller field?
No, this is the smaller field. And when we get to the breakdown, you'll have your big chunk at the top, and then it's a bunch of garbage below that.
Well, I mean, smaller field is in it's still 150 some people this week, and it's only like 120 something next week. But we lost like 10 of the top 25 players this week.
Right, exactly.
Hey, Mark, I take offense to what you said, man. One man, you can call him garbage, but one man's trash is another man's treasure. So let's find some diamonds in the rough this week.
Aw, he's so nice. He's so politically correct. It's like he knows a few of these players or something. I don't know.
I do actually. I know a couple of them.
I love it.
Do we want to do a quick recap of last week? Detroit, hometown stuff?
Yeah, man. Go ahead. Take us through.
Let's just do a quick one. I didn't get a chance to watch a lot of it. I was busy, but Bryson DeChambeau, who is changing the game right now, went out and won. I actually expected it. I predicted it. I put it in the picks we posted on there. I posted on Facebook on Wednesday night, and I played him in one and done, just like you did, Danger. Nice work.
Yeah, buddy. Thank you.
We're climbing the ranks. So yeah, man, it was a great finish. Wolf is awesome too. The thing I love about both those guys is they're unorthodox. It's like people that think they have it figured out can't figure those two guys out. And look, they're at the top of the leaderboard. So it's just fun to watch. It's part of the future of the game. It's going to a much more athletic style of golfer, not just like a finesse guy who's a traditionalist and that kind of thing. So to me, it's exciting, man. I got some guys in mind for this week. I'm feeling pretty confident about this week as well. And I just wish I would have put some money. I just couldn't swallow that 6-1 pill on Bryson on an outright bet last week.
I did it.
I know you did. Good job on that too, man.
Well, I also had a lot of long shots though. That was my hedge bet. So
yep.
I actually put that bet in when we were talking. I don't know. You text me at like 10 o'clock Wednesday night, and you're like, "I'm doubling down. Bryson's taking it." And I was like, "All right, fine. You really think that?" I had $10. I had $30 on various $2 bets on guys. I only bet guys that are like 60-1 and above, but I only put $2 on them, right? And I had $10 left in the account, and I'm like, all right, man. But if I hedge it with Bryson, it'll double my money. So I did it. I doubled.
So did you hedge on Wolf down the stretch on Sunday, or did you just go all balls to the wall with Bryson?
No, man, I did all Bryson. I didn't have anything left. I just put Bryson's my last $10 on my account.
Right. And if you're putting $10 in, it's not like you're worried about hedging anyway. It's just fun money at that point.
No.
It was a fun week. Good to see Detroit on display, even though it was mostly just the golf course and there weren't fans and they didn't really, didn't show Detroit as much as maybe they did last year. But good field, a lot of great players up top. It was really good to see. It was a nice mix of players up top. So moving on to this week down in Ohio. So I've been in Muirfield. It's a beautiful rolling fairways. It's kind of designed a little bit in the ilk of a Augusta National with rolling fairways, very undulating, very fast greens. There are certainly some correlations between great putters at Augusta and great putters at Muirfield because the green complexes are very similar. So this is Jack's creation. This is Jack Nicklaus's signature golf course. It's probably his favorite creation. It's in his hometown of Columbus, Ohio. And you're right. It is beautiful, Ohio. It's very shocking when you go there. But Dublin, Ohio, and that piece of property is actually beautiful. I said it. That's about the nicest thing I'll ever say about Ohio.
You did it. I'm proud of you.
We've had guys like Ricky Fowler and Jason Duffner and David Lingmerth. And there's been like a very wide variety of players from the elites. Like Justin Rose has a great track record here. Tiger obviously won here like 1,000 times. But you've got a bunch of like journeyman no-names, which is kind of why I say, Mark, that one man's trash is another man's treasure, because a lot of years there are these guys that might be in the mid to low 6Ks that just go out and win. So always looking at approach and all that if you want to talk about stats. But, I'm looking at some of these guys at the bottom that really aren't being talked about a whole lot, at least to my knowledge. You tell me with ownership percentage stuff.
For sure. We will get into it. Ownership's a little strange so far. We'll see how it lands, at the tomorrow night before everything kind of gets settled. But it's a little different. Without some of the bigger names in there, it's going to be interesting. So we definitely have lost some of the world-class talent because they're going to take a week off and probably come back for next week. But we do have a pretty strong grouping in the 9,000 and above category. We start off with Justin Thomas, who just hasn't quite hit his stride for me at 11-1 up top. John Rahm right below him. A guy that really should be killing it and has done okay, but just let me down a couple times. Course horse Patrick Cantley right behind that at 10-6, and Brooks rounds out the top four at 10-4. Xander at 10-2, and Hideki at 10 even. Interesting group of names, man. Strong players. It's not an empty field.
It's actually quite a good list. It's pretty exciting, actually. Mark, what are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I wish I could play a bunch of these people in this range, but they're just priced a little too high for DraftKings. Out of this range, Cantley is going to be the chalk. I like him the best, but I'll probably fade him because everybody's going to play him.
I'm seriously considering him one and done again because screw it. You know, I'm out of the overall most likely. I mean, I'm on 600th place. It's not inconceivable.
But
I might just throw Cantley at him.
I'm actually in 300, so I might.
Nice.
Andrew, you say you're considering playing Cantley because you're further back?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's the right move, man. You got to get ownership leverage. So you're going to want a guy that's going to be like 10th most owned or something that has a great chance to win.
No, but I think he's going to win. So I just want.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter what you think. It's a game strategy thing. I'm pulling a Chris Emmerich on you here.
I don't care about game strategy. How long have we been doing this? Who are you talking
Jesus,
to here?
dude.
There's
Do you
no
care
strategy.
about money?
There's no
You care
strategy
about money?
with
You
dangers
care about
around.
strategy in poker. You know, you're still trying to make money. I'm just giving you shit, man. But it's true.
For sure. No, yeah. I mean, I actually think the guy who's probably going to go more overlooked in this 10K and up range is probably Brooks for where he should be.
Brooks is the guy I'm picking to win. That's
Yeah,
who I would suggest you play. Dude, Jack
I'm-
Nicklaus courses historically favor guys that like to move it left to right. That is Brooks' stock ball flight all day long, both off the tee and into the greens. He's been trending well. Like, he's playing better golf than he normally does during non-major seasons. He just
Fantasy
finished
Nationals
seventh.
only got him at 10.3% projected ownership.
Beautiful. He finished seventh at Heritage a couple weeks ago, which is a course he has to club down on. His iron game is great. His putting's coming around, man. Brooks is going to be top 5 this week.
Yeah, I like Brooks a lot at that range.
Yep. And I like Rahm, too.
Yeah, I like Rahm, man, but he's just, I don't know, something off about his game for me right now.
There's not. Just play him.
That's what you say. That's what you say. I
Okay.
usually believe you. It's fine.
I'm going to do it, too. So I'm putting my money where my mouth is.
Rahm only projected 9.3% ownership.
Perfect, dude. I got the perfect 1-2 punch up top. I'm going to get some value. We're
Cantley
looking
at
good.
19, Thomas at 14, Hideki and Rose at 17, Hovland at 17.
Dude, I love Cantley. I just don't want to play him at his ownership or his, ownership percentage in one and done either.
Right.
So who else we liking up top for you guys?
The 10K range, man, I think it's probably just Brooks for me.
What's
Maybe
Xander's ownership looking like?
Xander's at 12.3. I do like him, but I just like Brooks so much more for 200 more bucks.
Probably. Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Brooks is a cutter too, so he's plenty long to make up for that distance. I'm actually, I'm saying he's not going to need to see the roll like they will next week when the course is playing firmer, and the weather's just set up to be. They can do whatever they want with the course conditions.
Yeah,
So
it's
if
going to be
it's softer
soft.
this week-
They're going to stick.
For sure, I love guys that carry the ball a long way off the tee and light the ball kind of higher and cut it into the greens. That's Brooks all day long, man, and Rahm for that matter.
Yeah, I like it. So let's move on to the 9,000 range. There's only a couple of guys here: Justin Rose, Victor Hovland, Colin Morikawa, Ricky Fowler. Fowler's got great course history here. His ownership's about 11. Hovland's going to be massively chalk, probably Rose as well. So it's tough to be in this range. Morikawa is interesting to me. I think some people kind of really got off of him after he missed the cut there. Interesting play at 92.
Yep, and that's exactly where I'm going. I love this range, and like you said, Hovland and Rose are going to be chalk, but I do love them. I will put them in something, just not everything. But
cash game wise, either one of those guys I would put in any lineup.
Yeah, exactly. But I agree with you with Morikawa. He finally crashed and burned, had that horrible tournament, took a week off. And I see him coming back. This is another course that's all about irons, and he has a great iron game. And the greens are tough, but it kind of levels the field a little bit with the putting, because that's one thing is Morikawa is terrible at putting. But his short game's so good, I think it kind of evens him out. So I look at, he might not win the whole thing, but I see a top 10 finish for him.
What's his ownership looking like?
Morikawa's sitting at 12%, but it's below the 17 at both Rose and Hovland. So, if you're going to play in that range, I'd rather have Morikawa or Fowler than Rose or Hovland. But, man, Hovland's going to win one of these good ones. So
he is.
Too many people are on him right now, though.
Hovland's maybe a little bit better putter than Morikawa, but he does not have the short game skills around the greens at all. And he's admitted as much, and he hasn't shown that he's really improved that a lot so far since they came back. So, yeah, for ownership purposes, I would love to take Morikawa and just think that week off is going to help him refresh, refocus. He's a really sharp kid, so I would expect a good finish from him this week. I'm definitely interested at 90. That was at 92.
92, yeah. He's got all the skill. The guys, every single guy above him in this group, he's got all the skills to compete with all of them. And 92 is a good discount for the top level of talent he can put together.
Wow, so we got to figure out who the chalk is down below, because I think if I start with like Rahm, Brooks, Morikawa, I don't know if I can fit 3 other dudes in there.
You're right. It's going to be really
those are going to
hard.
be like the top guys in my player pool above 9K for sure.
And I'm going to tell you, just a sneak peek here. I like a lot of the guys at the top of the 6,000 and bottom of 7,000 range, but nothing super deep. So it's going to be tough.
All right, well, we got to get super deep. The guy that just qualified for the second week in a row, Monday qualified, is Donnie Trosper, who played for Michigan State. He shot 62 in his Monday qualifier this week. The dude is just on fire and made the Rocket Mortgage last week.
Isn't he the guy that last week DFL'd?
Yes, it was his first PGA Tour event he's ever played.
Pretty sure he put a plus 11 on the first day or something.
Can you just stop for a minute?
Yeah.
He just shot 62 yesterday.
I know. I just give you a hard time.
Well,
all right. Well, we're not there yet. So let's get back to the 8,000 range here. The guy at the top of the 8,000 range, 8,900, some JN. There's just something wrong with him. There's all kinds of Twitter jokes about somebody reboot him. But man, you know what? He's sub 9,000. He usually makes every cut, and he's only projected at 7% ownership.
Wow.
I don't know if I'm going to play him because I'm probably only playing 3 lineups this week. But if I was playing 20 like I'd been doing before, he definitely would be sprinkled in at 7% ownership.
I think you just made my decision. I'm playing 20 lineups this week, and I'm playing like 5 of them with Sungjae because he deserves at least that much.
Right? I mean, he's been off, but it only takes a minute. And do I see him winning that? Nah. But a top 5 here at 8,900 and 7% owned.
Sure, but for a while there, he was a top 10 machine. So if he goes back to that form and you have him at that low of an ownership percentage, that's a solid piece with his value right now. I love guys when they're in bounce back spots, not when they're riding the heater.
Yep. I like it. And oddly enough, a man who's made 6 cuts in a row and even lower owned, 5.9% owned. How about Jordan Spieth, who has a decent history? I know you don't like him, but 5.9% owned, 6 cuts in a row.
No, absolutely not.
You say that every time I bring him up. It's fine.
He's never winning again.
Mark, who do you got here in the 8,000 range?
In the 8,000 range, I like Leishman, probably the best. What's his ownership? Do you have it in front of you?
He is the second highest owned in the 8,000 range at 14.4.
Yeah, it's a little high, but he's only 8,700. I like Joaquin Niemann too at 8,400. It's good value there, and I don't believe in like Adam said. I don't like riding the hot hand too much. Matthew Wolff's at 8,100, which is low for someone who was competing for the last tournament. But just above him at 8,200, I like Adam Hadwin.
How about this for Matt Wolff? 3.7% projected ownership.
What Twilight Zone are we living in right now? What is going on?
8,100 for him and 3% ownership. He's going to find a lineup.
I'm just saying. My favorite guy in this whole range, and I think I'm going to lock and load on him, man. Matt Kuchar, 8,500. Matt Kuchar, 8,500 and 8.5% ownership projection.
He
I
looks
can't get off him, dude.
terrible though. He's
I don't
playing
care, man.
so bad.
Want him. I want him. 8,500. I like that price. Such a good price. Just saying.
I like him. He's usually Mr. Consistency, but since we've come back from the layoff, he just has not looked good.
Yeah,
What do you
Wolf
think,
is
Aaron?
absolutely 100%. Wolf is an auto play. His pricing was not. His play last week, was not taken into account when his pricing came out. So he's mispriced by a lot.
Dude, and I'm telling you, so Fantasy National has that other stat that I love so much where it actually shows you what percentage of their lineup generator is spitting out these guys. And even their lineup generator over there is only spitting out Wolf at 3.6%. It's crazy.
What? How? Why?
It's crazy,
I don't understand.
Man. I don't
like,
either. It's crazy.
This is the thing. Everyone's got flavor of the week syndrome. So he had a good week last week. He can't possibly do it again. Dude, he's 8,100. He made 27 birdies and an eagle last week.
I'm with you, man. I like him.
Fucking A. He's going to be in. Sorry for the F-bomb. He's going to be in every lineup this week.
And okay. Sorry, 3 listeners. Sorry, 3 listeners. Dude, the Tour Junkies hate him. It's like a super fade this week. So,
all right. So I was texting with them on Twitter last week about DGC. I'm going to text them this week and go, yo, your fade of Wolf is stupid, and listen to Draft for Upside, and we'll tell you why.
No, funny.
Seriously.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, that's my main take there. I don't have much room in this range to put a bunch of guys in. So I love him. I love Woodland. I hate Spieth because I always hate Spieth, and I like Reed. That's it in the 8K range for me.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And this has been a little bit of a Bubba course in the past. I know he burned me a couple weeks ago. He missed the cut last week. This could be a Bubba course, man. God, he's the guy I get sucked into. Never mind. Forget it. No.
I'm not. Yeah.
Don't
he's
him.
my Jordan Spieth.
Don't like him.
All right, fair enough. One of these days.
No love at all for Matt Fitzpatrick, who's been a cut-making machine.
No. I mean, he's fine. He doesn't excite me. If he plays well, he's going to be like a 5 birdie, 1 bogey around type of guy, not like an 8 birdie guy like Wolf.
I think if he was at 7K, I'd love him because he'd make the cut for you, right? But 8K
totally
is
agree.
A little harder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a price versus upside thing.
Yeah. All right, moving on down. So 7,900 has a guy at 2% owned, Louis Oosthuizen. You like him when the approach is important, but he's not long enough for this course, is he?
What? Louis?
I'm just joking, dude. Come on, get a sense of humor.
You're gonna mess with my boy Louis, my boy Shrek? Did you see? Come on, man. I love
Adam,
Louis.
I missed you for 2 weeks. I'm gonna mess with you all night long.
I was on 2 weeks ago. I missed you last week, though. But you're right. It's been 2 weeks since we spoke. You're right. I can't math good. No, man. Of course I love Louis. I always love Louis. Come on. How do you not? The guy's very lovable, and he hits it long, and he's a great ball striker. And people are always like, oh, he's going to withdraw, and he withdraws like once a year. So I'm not worried. Play Louis. He's the man. He's great value at $7,900.
I'm with you.
I'm just trying to put dudes in the lineup that have a good chance to win. You know what I mean?
So obviously the world has caught on to our man Streels because he's up to 12% ownership projection.
All right. Well.
So I like him, but that's kind of rough at 7,800. The guy that I really love at 77, who I think has a very good chance to win this, and you talked earlier about grabbing these lower-end guys who could win the course, is my man Joel Damon. But I'm not alone in that. 16% of lineup generators are spitting him out.
Jeez.
Okay.
Yeah, he's way up there.
Yeah, 15.1% ownership projection, but he is getting a 55% favorite rating. So, I mean, they're liking him for a reason. His game fits this course, 7,700. I mean, I might just eat the chalk and just take it.
Oh, man, that's a tough one. I love Joel Damon. We've talked about him a lot. I love his silly hat that he wears.
But if you're playing a single lineup or you're playing like a 3 max and you don't have to get too cute like a 20 max or a milli maker, I mean, eat the chalk, man. Screw it.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Now, it depends on what you do up top. So if you take 2 guys like Rahm and, for example, Morikawa, like 2 lower-owned guys there, you can get a little bit of chalk in your lower-end guys in the lineup. So You just need to make sure your total ownership percentage isn't like, don't play ultra.
Yeah.
Just differentiate somewhere so that your lineups are unique. Because nobody likes sharing that big pot. You know what I mean? Especially not with
Agree.
like 8 dudes.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
That's the worst.
Yeah. So I like him, but I like a couple other guys more just based on their probable ownership percentage being a lot lower. I mean, like I said, I want guys that have a good chance to win. I think that's like.
All right, so you're locking in Phil Mickelson.
I actually don't hate Phil at all this week.
2.3%.
Oh yeah, dude, this is lining up perfectly. We're gonna win all the money this week.
Yeah, I might have to put a Millie Maker lineup in with all these 2% owned guys.
Well, Phil can hit it kind of crappy and still get it around and shoot like a couple under par on his bad round. And he makes a ton of birdies. He's the exact kind of guy. This is the price I like to target Phil at this type of course.
Yeah, dig it. Mark, who you got your eyes on here at the top end of the 7,000s?
I like Louis, where he talked about him. I think he fits really good on this course.
Can I say something about Phil?
Go ahead.
I want to add one thing on Phil, man. I'm a big fan of traps. I'm a big fan of cabs, and he's got both. So I love Phil, man. Give me 50% of Phil in all my lineups this week.
Dig it.
Hitting bombs and attacking pins.
Dig it.
And then kind of getting into the mid-range here, but I kind of like Maverick McNeely again.
Yeah, he's hot, man. He's hot. It's 75. He didn't get that big of a price increase. We're only looking at 9-ish%, 9 to 10% ownership. I kind of like him too, man. I played him the last couple of weeks. I put a bet on him to win last week just because it was like 110 to 1. I like him, man. I dig that pick. What about Scotty Scheffler? I know he's disappointed a couple times, but he's all the way down to 7,806% ownership. He's got the skills.
He's got the skills. He's got the ball flight that fits this course. I love Scotty Scheffler. I love Corey Connors. I also love, in the 7K range, Mr. Shane Lowry is a probably very low guy at $7,400.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Shane burned me back-to-back weeks.
I don't care. I don't care what you did to you, Danger. Have you
very
not
low.
This out yet?
You are correct. Very low.
I only care about your feelings when things piss you off and you get screwed.
That's right. No, it's true. True story.
What's Patrick Rogers' ownership percentage looking like? Because I'm looking at my chops on that one.
2.8.
Yep, got me in. We're gonna win all the money. I'm telling you right now.
I like it. All right. You're gonna make me lose poker winnings again because I'm gonna move it over to golf and I'm gonna lose it all.
How'd you do on Bryson last week?
Fine. He made me break even.
Whose fault was it you didn't have more money to invest in Bryson?
Right. Yeah. Well.
Anyway, no, I think we'll have a good week, man. It's gonna be fun. Mark, like in the 7K range.
Well, let's get down to the mids here. I mean, starting off at you got down to Lowry. Piquing my interest a slight amount is Sabatini again, although he hasn't really paid off. He keeps looking okay, but never works out. Mark Hubbard really came through for me on a few of my lineups, and Ryan Armour too. All three of those guys right there at 74, along with Lowry. That whole 74 is kind of stacked, and Lanto Griffin has the skill set for this course as well.
Oh, Lanto. Actually, you know who I'm looking at, and he's probably going to be pretty low owned, is Harold Varner again. The thing killing him is his putting right now, and I'm going to go
very
back.
High owned, my friend.
Is he really?
Projected at 13.
Oh, okay. Well, forget it. I was going to go right back to my same argument that these greens kind of level the playing field on putting, and his ball striking has been phenomenal since we've been back in play. But at 13%, but he's only 7,500, so that might be a lower chalk that I can stomach.
And now, anybody listening, please, we talk about a lot of guys we like. We're not really helping you narrow it down much, right? We're just kind of helping you get a little read on how we feel about them. Please check out our Facebook page, Draft for Upside, DRAUGHT, like draft beer. We do put out our more condensed favorite plays, usually Wednesday before the night happens when we post this all out. But we'll get it more narrowed down for you as we talk this out amongst ourselves in our group chat. So don't feel like we just like everybody. We're just trying to get a handle on the player pool. Isn't that right, Adam?
Very well said, my friend. Very well said.
Yeah, because it sounds
Yep.
like, oh, well, look, we talked about. Well, yeah, we talk about a lot of the guys, but yeah, just
For
follow us
sure.
on Facebook and a few other places, and catch our more condensed picks before the tournament starts.
It's a conversation. We're talking things through. I need you guys to talk me off of Luke List. All in $7,000.
Well,
Tell me why I shouldn't.
All right. Here you go. You want me to help you with that? So
Yes, please. I need it.
it's not going to help. It's not going to help. You're going to love him more. I'm sorry.
I
I listen to the Junkies like I always do. I listen to Russell Knox's sister like I always do. I've watched a couple of YouTube videos. I've read like 8 or 9 articles today, and that is the first time I've heard Luke List's name.
All I'm gonna say is, man, I'm ready to be hurt. I'm ready to be hurt. I'm all in. I'm feeling vulnerable. I'm feeling excited. And I know he's gonna break my heart, but I love him anyway. Luke, you're my guy, man. You're like the ex-girlfriend I can't quit, and I keep going back to.
Every time you put him in, do you just sing the song, "Do you really want to hurt me"? Do you just sing that every time you play him?
He finds a way to hurt me every week he's in the field. I didn't play him last week because I saw his crappy attitude at the Rocket Mortgage last year. And then he comes in and starts off 69, 67, 67. And I'm like, damn it, man, it was the week. If I had played you instead of one of the other schmucks that I had in my lineup, we could have had the week that we've been waiting for, man. And it's just never meant to be. But this is the week. We reconcile our differences. I forgive him for all he's done to me. And it's Luke List week. He's going to finish top 10. I feel it in my veins.
That means I will not bet Luke List. But
that's fine. You can miss out all you want. He's my FOMO bet. It's like me and what's his name, Pat Mayo. I can't not bet him. I have to bet him at least $5. This is it.
I love it. Well, at the lower end here, one of the guys I've been really liking lately is Scott Stallings. You're talking about more of a physical game. The guy is physical. Pat Rogers, I like him too. And then you get a little lower, we got the return of Bud Colley after taking a week off for COVID scale. So I like Bud, man. He's had a good year so far.
Look, I have no idea what Bryson's calves look like because he's like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and who knows if he even has calf definition. But if there's one guy on tour that competes with Phil's calves, it is Scott Stallings.
Yeah, buddy.
That guy is shredded. I saw him last year in person on the range at the Rocket Mortgage. It was like a practice round so they could wear shorts. Mm-hmm. Just maybe the most glorious sight I've seen. They were glistening. I'm telling you.
I'm going to put 25 lineups in, and he's going in all 25. It's done.
Let's just make an all-trap team, all quad team, and an all-cabs team, and we'll have like all bases covered. We can mix and match. That's all we do.
It makes me happy. I'm into it.
Sweet.
I'm into it. Mark, you got any lower end 7,000 guys here before we go dumpster diving?
Nope. I'm kind of feeling Luke List too. That's I'm sorry, but his stats line up.
Yeah.
Everything
right.
but the putting. Everything but the putting.
Mark.
But I'm arguing that the greens even out the putting field here. So
fair.
Mark, my arms are out. We're meeting in a field we're about to hug. We're gonna bond over Luke List this week.
Yeah.
Walk towards me. Yeah.
I'll fix it for you, dude. I'll put him in my one and done, and then he'll bomb.
No.
There you go.
No. Don't
fix
you
it
do
for
that.
you.
Don't you
I'll
do
fix
that.
it for you.
I said
all right,
a little risky, not that.
All right, getting into the nitty gritty here. I mean, I wish Chris was here because you know who is being talked about on Twitter and on the pods? Jim Furyk, 6,900.
I mean, I guess if you run the strip. I guess if you really need a cut made, sure.
Right. I mean, he's gonna make the cut.
He should make the cut. I don't know, man. It's long. That course is very long. He's gonna have a lot of long irons and hybrids in, and he's just gonna wear out, man. If he makes the cut, he's still gonna finish like 50th or worse. Is my expectation for him. I like Wawrinski a lot better than him. Didn't we just have Matthew Neesmith riding a bit of a heater a few weeks ago?
Oh, absolutely. That's my boy.
Yeah, I know he blew up 1 week at the Travelers, but
he's also 8.3% owned.
Hey, give me a quick ownership on JB Holmes. This is
JB Holmes is listed here. I mean, he's got some course history, and
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, man, 2% ownership. 2% ownership. He was already on my list. Richie Wawrinski is being touted as everybody's sneaky value pick. I've seen him about times.
Perfect. Well, then screw him and let's go JB. Let's just go all in, man. We're winning all the money this week.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, I like Naismith again, too. Yeah, he blew up 1 week. That might be more fresh in people's mind than really how well he's played since the restart. A guy that has been brought up a few times I know nothing about. Maybe you can fill me in here, Adam. Nick Taylor.
Yeah, man, Canadian. He won at Pebble Beach last year, kind of ran away with it. I'm not sure if he's been a very hot and cold player. So if he's looking good early in the week, he'll have a good week. But since that first place finish at the Pebble Beach Pro-Am back in February, 69th and 56th, and this is also his first event back. So I'm hesitant. I'm very hesitant on Nick Taylor.
And then the only other guy,
yeah,
and then the only other guy that I even have pegged is way down at 6,200, Scotty Harrington. There's just something about him I just like sometimes. I feel like this is one of those times that he can make the cut for you at almost bare bottom at 0.2% owned, and I don't have anybody else starred in the 6,000 range. So, Mark, you can tell us all about who you like.
Yeah, I'm not playing anybody down here.
None? Zero?
None. No.
Wow. All right, Adam, tell me why I shouldn't play 100% Scott Harrington.
Because he's Scott Harrington. So the guys that I do like down here are Adam Long. I mean, dude, I think you probably like him because he sounds Irish and he sounds like he's a drinker, but there's no great reason to play him.
Is he related to Patty?
No, I don't believe.
Well, okay, then never mind. I'm gonna unstar him because I thought he was like Patty's like younger brother or something.
No, it's not a Brooks and Chase Koepka situation. By the way, Brooks is returning from his COVID suspension, I believe, after being exposed to his brother, right?
Something like that.
Or his brother's cat, or Brooks's caddy. Or
yeah, it was
caddy,
somebody's
whatever.
caddy, and Chase bowed out just because.
Yep. So anywho, I do love Adam Long. I think his game, he's a very boomer bust guy. I could see him finishing like top 25 or just finishing Diffle. I also like Sung Kang at 6,500. He's gained a lot of distance working with George Yankus, the instructor. So I like his game now more than I used to. Let's see if we can find him. Oh, here we go. Tyler McCumber.
Who?
Tyler McCumber, man. He's been shredding, or he was shredding on the rock.
Whoa. Hey, man, stay on the road, bro.
Hey, that's my gas, dude. I had too much dairy today.
Uh-huh.
I apologize. But no, I do like one last guy down at the very bottom, and it's not Scotty Harrington. It is a very risky one, very boomer bust, very, very tipsy pick. I don't even know if I can do this, but Lucas Beauregard. He has missed 8 of his last 9 cuts. This is the tipsiest of tipsy picks, but
wait, no, you said that last name totally wrong.
Beegers are good. Sorry.
Beegers are good.
Beegers are good. My bad, dude. You're right. You're absolutely right. That's all I got. I got to finish on that note and gather my thoughts here so I can speak again in a minute.
That's what we haven't done in a while. We haven't done the
Danger
John
theme
Danger theme team.
Yes. We got to go with the all-male genitalia team this week. I'll go through and do my research for you, buddy.
Well, we got Adam Long. We got Beegers are good. We've already started.
Do we have a Johnson? Can I get a Johnson?
Hey, you know what? Who popped in the first model that I ran? Zach Johnson.
Did that Johnson pop, Danger?
Yeah, man.
That's good to hear.
But for real though, the only model that I've run so far, Zach Johnson came in at like number 8 on the model. What's up with that?
Hey, I don't care about Zach Johnson. Killer Keith, man. Keith Mitchell. I almost missed him at 6,200. Play Killer Keith.
Keith Mitchell.
No Johnsons.
No Johnsons. Okay.
Yes. We're good.
I dig it. All right, guys. Everybody listening, thank you for listening. We are Draft for Upside. Again, find us DRAUGHT. The number 4, upside.com, draftforupside.com. Find us on Facebook, find us on Twitter, all those good things. Thanks to Lou Landers over at the Sports Crew for helping us get the word out. And please check our Facebook page, give us a like, and we will break down the hosts usually give like their top 3 guys in each range, and then a crazy tipsy pick. So we'll get that out on Facebook. Please catch us there. Mark, Adam, any last words, or was Johnson
tipsy picks? Are we doing tipsy picks? Are we getting too tipsy as it is?
Yeah, we can do tipsy picks. I mean, you've already named like 6 of them.
Well, sure, yeah. You get whatever. You guys pick your own. You can't have any of those. I already claimed them. We said 6,400 and below now, right?
Well, no, that was the last. That was when we had all those big names in the range. I think we should go like 6,900 and below now because
That's too easy, man.
Dude, I don't know any of these names.
Too
All right,
easy.
Donnie Trosper. Last guy I'll mention. Shout out Donnie Trosper. Monday qualified for the second week in a row. He's at 6,000. If you're playing 20 lineups, throw him in one and hope that you get some fireworks because it's impressive.
He put up plus 11 last week. It's going to be plus 14 this week.
What odds will you give me on a made cut this week?
On a made cut. Let's see. He makes the cut, I'll give you $10. He misses the cut, you give me 5.
Oh, that's terrible. Are you serious?
Oh,
the guy just played his first. I was thinking like 10 to 1, man. You're terrible at this.
Come on.
Oh my God. If I go on, I'm gonna go see what he is on like my bookie to make the cut. See, there's even odds on it, and it's not gonna be close to 2 to 1.
No, definitely not.
All right. Well, he's not my tipsy pick, by the way. I will go with Adam Long.
Adam Long. All right, Mark, what do you got? I haven't looked this deep, so give me a second.
Yeah, I just go for crazy picks down here because it's tipsy picks.
Right.
And I just love the video of Vijay Singh with the fully gray goatee.
Yep, that's good.
He just looks so badass in Detroit, so I am gonna.
He looks like a
Vijay Singh.
It looks like a giant, older, like a slightly younger Fijian Lovie Smith.
Yeah.
It's that like regal beard. I love it, man.
Yeah, he looks so badass with it too.
All right. I am, this is a name I know, but I'm going to pick it because it's a name I know. But I like a little Carlos Ortiz at 6,400.
Yep, I do too.
Yep. I dig it, man. I mean, come on. Look, I don't know why we didn't even talk about this guy. He's 16th in the field in ARG. Come on.
I have time for a quick 30-second rant about why they're playing the same course 2 weeks in a row, if that's actually true.
Yes.
I did promise you could have that.
You did. I'll keep it quick. Why in the world, PGA Tour, why would you play the same course 2 weeks in a row, man? You have all these beautiful courses across the country. You have all these opportunities. It's a once-in-a-lifetime thing with COVID. You don't have a host city to play next. Just figure it out. Go play Cypress Point. Go play a cool course we don't see very often. It's a crazy year. Hopefully it's a one-off, unique year. But you can do better than playing the same course 2 weeks in a row in slightly different conditions. You can do a lot better. I get the whole thing of not wanting to transport players all over, but find another one in that general area. Although I hate Ohio, there's a lot of good golf courses. It's terrible. I'm not even going to watch next week. That's a lie. I will because I'm a sucker.
Total lie.
It is.
Total lie. You know what I wish, Adam? This is actually an opportunity missed by the sports books, unless I'm just wrong. How about you being able to parlay like top fives this week and next week because it's the same course, like a combined score.
Beautiful. That's
combined score bet. How about cool? How cool would that be?
That'd be sweet, man. Like a cumulative score, like you do in the majors for 4. You just do it the same course for 2 weeks. Yeah, it'd be great.
And only the players that are registered for both weeks, obviously, And
if any of us had the time to do it, we could set it up on our own and run it through Draft for Upside. But that sounds like a lot of work.
And I honestly didn't know that they were playing the same course 2 weeks in a row until about 11 o'clock today. So.
I didn't know what course they were playing.
That's our PGA expert, folks. Adam White. Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. We are Draft Upside.
See you.